At Karaka for NZB Standardbreds, and I'm catching up now with Ken Breckon from Breckon Farms, a family-owned business too. Can't forget Karen, I get into trouble. But Breckon Farms, firstly, welcome, mate.
Yeah, you're welcome. Welcome, Paul. Yeah, no, you better mention her.
It was her 21st birthday last night too, I reckon, wasn't it?
Well, just about. Might have been her 23rd.
Yeah. That's okay.
She celebrated like it was her 21st.
And that's one thing I do love about you guys. You do have fun, and you're always bubbly and good fun to be around. I'm interviewing you on Saturday afternoon about 1 o'clock. How bubbly and jovial are you going to be first thing tomorrow morning?
Oh, a bit nervous tomorrow morning, but as I say, last night I had to laugh. The electrician even put in lights that change colour. He said, "I know you Breckons love a party," so we had them going last night. And we had a couple of bottles of bourbon brought in late in the piece, mate, so it was good. So we started early, but tomorrow morning we get fair income, and we're pretty excited about it. We've got a great draft, and we think, I think the industry's on the up again, so we're excited about it.
We'll talk about the industry in a second, because I think you've got great ideas and you're a very smart businessman, and I like the way you go about what you do and getting behind it. Your draft, pick up the catalogue and you go, wow. Then you come here and look at them, and it's like, yeah, thank goodness the wife didn't give me any money to spend.
Well, it's been 13 years in the making. I thought I knew all about it, and I obviously didn't. So it's been a learning curve, and it's taken 13 years to get where we are today, but we're very excited about it. We've got a lot of young mares and a lot of young families and different families. And I think that's what we probably learned. In the early days, we were all about one family, and obviously that doesn't appeal to everyone. So you've just got to change your business model and change with the times. And like Captain Treacherous, for argument's sake, the new kid on the block, going very well in Australia. We've obviously over the years had a number of betters to like, but it's just good to see new blood coming through, and I think it's exciting. And the speed that the likes of Captain Treacherous has put back into the game is fantastic. And you look at tonight, I think Captain Ravishing's running around tonight, and what a speed machine he is, and again very exciting for the industry.
We could rattle off quite a few of your mares and go from there. Like you got Twist and Twirl. I got to see her just walk up before. One thing I do like, the old Golden Cross, the Better's Delight over the Christian Cullen, like it was this proven cross that worked so well, and it did, and it stood the test of time. And you got these mares now all of a sudden, and I know you've got a couple in your draft that are by Captain Treacherous out of those mares that are by that Golden Cross. It adds an amazing bit of intrigue to the pedigree pages, doesn't it?
Yes, it does indeed. And look, we go right back with that King of Swing family. I believed in crosses, and it was Art's Place, Rock and Roll Hanover blood, and it worked. And Rock and Roll Hammer won over there the other day for Luke McCarthy. Again, very close in pedigree to King of Swing. So, and again, you're quite right in what you're saying. This new cross is very, very exciting. So. There we go. Fingers crossed.
It is exciting, and I love looking at it. And then you come here and you see the product, if you like, of those crosses. So I was sitting on the plane, you look at it and you think, yeah, that's cool. Then you see, well, that's going to run, and then you say, right. So if you want to be ahead of the curve, you've got to start looking at that. Do you do that? Do you actually have a bit of a daydream go past, like Andrew Grisson's just over there? Do you have a look at some of theirs that are maybe by stands that weren't on your radar and just see how they are, or is it all business here this weekend?
Look, it's all business, but I definitely look at new stallions, and it's something that I'm sort of proud of. I really love the pedigree, so it's very hard. You're crystal balling when you're breeding. You're looking 2 or 3 years out, and look, I've stuck by, for argument's sake, Father Patrick. I thought he was a sensational horse over there in America, and look, it's paying dividends now. We've got High Energy down the South Island, who's won 5 straight out of a great family in Regal Volo and Highgate. So. It's look, again, I love the experiment. I don't go too far. I'll probably, in years gone by, I'll probably jump the gun a bit. I come out of the gates too quick and sort of blowing up at the 400 mark. So you can't jump too far away as a commercial breeder. You've got to stick obviously to what's, I suppose, flavour of the month. Like Tall Dark Stranger's one that we're having a small crack at this year, and of course King of Swing. Yeah. Again, a beautifully conformed horse. So it's good bringing new blood, but you can't get too carried away with it. You can't go out too far, and as I say, and you've probably got a limit. If you're going to make change, you just got to make it a limited change.
I think with the King of Swing too, the intrigue for you, and I'm sure some of those crosses, because you did breed him, you then have progeny that's closely related. You could sort of change up a few little things in there and have a few little experiments that could really pay dividends.
Yeah, and again, across betters like me, there's so many of them in New Zealand. I think he's going to be very exciting across him. I think we've gone, 4 of our mares have gone to him this year, and we're really excited about it. And I think in Australia, I think he's served I think his book may have closed. So it's exciting, and I know some of these stallions. Lazarus, we've had a bit of a stab with him this year, and fortunately his fertility seems to be okay. So again, we haven't had a lot of them in New Zealand, Lazarus. So it'll be good to see how he goes on the track. We had a little filly, Mark Purden, went to the workouts the other day and won comfortably. So I hope he puts a few runs on the board as well.
You've got one in direct descendant out of Lazarus in your draft as well, so I think, haven't you? Yeah.
Yes, we have. Yes, we have one closely related, Ice Imperial, very, very close up to Lazarus, and a magnificent looking colt, so I think he'll create a lot of interest.
Father Patrick's, and you said there before about Father Patrick's and the Trotters, sorry. But last year, Father Patrick, especially once we went to the South Island, for whatever reason, people weren't keen on him. He's just knocked up winning races this year, and he's just doing a sensational job on both sides of the ditch too. It doesn't matter where you are, both sides of the ditch here, and then you go to Australia as well. So the fact you've stuck fat with him is exciting. You got some lovely types. But you do love your trotters, and the intrigue in this catalogue is, I think, as a pure trotting lover, like I love the Pacers too, but the trotting lover, you really throw some intrigue into this catalogue.
Yes, we do. Again, we have a full brother to High Energy. The sister, the 2-year-old sister, again just went to her first workout and won that the other day. So we have that side, and then of course the Luby Lou and Luby Ann, Tickle-Me Pink. We have that side of a different family. Again, we bought Luby Ann off Gene Feast some years ago, but again showing huge promise with Father Patrick. So again, very, very exciting, and I think for those that are looking at trotters, they're out of all Group 1 winners, Group 1 winning mares here. Again, I think we'll have a lot of interest, hopefully both sides of the Tasman.
With the trotters too, they are growing. I mean, there's some exciting things happening in Australia. I think any person in New Zealand looking to perhaps break into the harness racing, they need to look at these trotters and the growth that's going to happen there. And over here, we need to probably put on some more races, if you like, for those horses. But they're definitely growing, and it's just, I think it's so exciting for our industry.
Yeah, look, we've got a new series. Auckland's just put together a new series. It'll be starting up next year with a 2-year-old series, which is fantastic. And there's also talk of them having a slot race for them, and I think it's, again, would be great over here because we've had such great success, albeit we've only had the one race, but the paces went very well. And again this year, what I'm loving to see, it's going to be Trans-Tasman. There's going to be a number of horses, or Australian horses, in the $1 million race here, and I think that's really important. We've got to have this Trans-Tasman rivalry. That's what makes sport, and it's what makes harness racing.
Harness racing is too small. That's one of my beliefs too. It should be Australia and New Zealand, not Australia, New Zealand. We should be working together. We should be trying to grow our product. All the states should be working together as well, and I think we can become a lot stronger. Positivity here at the sales, and it's always positive. I love sales. I think that's one of the reasons I do like them, is because how positive they are. But the industry as a far keen, is from your point of view as a business, and that, how's it tracking?
Well, look, I think you've hit the nail on the head. I'm a great believer the industry has to work a lot closer together. We're too small, you're quite right, to be working independently. So, I would like to work, and I will be spending a little bit more time on trying to do that over here as well, North Island, South Island, bring it together more. And again, Australia, we can't have clashing of dates and things like that. We should be having a summer carnival that fits in with Australia and vice versa, or a winter carnival again fitting in with Australia. We've got to have these horses coming across the ditch, ours going your way and yours coming our way, and that's what makes racing. And of course, that's what punters love as well.
And it's so funny because, like last night, went to Cambridge, Millwood Nike. She started, I think, $1.30. I'm glad I was there. The amount of people who wrapped there, their seat, the amount of people like you guys stayed back here, everyone that's watched it, we need to be able to showcase these horses. She's not going to get to Australia this year, unfortunately, but maybe if we had to work together, maybe put a 3-year-old race that would time it in. Once the Aussies see a horse like her, they're going to go wow as well.
Yeah, look, again, I think 9 straight now, white picket fence. She's a great horse. And horses like that bring people to the track, And the other one that won last night, owned by Dean Shannon from Australia, Merlin, super horse, and again want to see him over in Australia. We need to be, again, as I say, competing against each other.
Wasn't that long ago people were saying there was no depth in New Zealand racing. It was only probably 2-3 years ago. All of a sudden, on the, we're going everywhere. Republican Party last week, BD Joe, although I'm sure no one wants to remember last night, but what he's been able to do, that was just bad luck. That happens. New Zealand can well and truly bat above its, weight division, if you like. There's no worries there. The progeny that you guys can put out onto the racetrack, King of Swing, another horse, one of the superstars, generational sort of horses that we can get. So we need to be able to embrace it. It is a great sport. It's such a positive sport. It's an affordable sport, and we need to get more people involved in it.
Yeah, well, of course, COVID hasn't helped, and again, it's put this huge void in our lives and in our sport. So I think, the business leaders have just got to rally together and harness racing and get it firing again. And I don't think it's difficult.
I don't think so either, especially with a guy with a personality like yours.
The party man.
You might be able to party after tomorrow night. You won't be partying in the morning.
We hope so.
Mate, you got a great draft. Good luck. Thanks for giving me a couple of minutes. It's good to see so many horses being out and presented, and that you must be wrapped with the amount of people that are coming and looking at them too. It's always a positive sign. So many people here and looking.
Yeah, well, it is looking very promising, and thanks again, Paul, for the opportunity.
Thank you, mate.
Champion.